I just got a pick-a-brick order of Wolfpack torsos that I got from the International Pick-a-Brick site, meaning that they weren't available in the United States. I had to get them from overseas, and it took a couple of weeks, and now I have them. And of course, now they're available on the regular Pick-a-Brick site that ships from the U.S. warehouses from Lego. So, of course, I went back and I ordered some more, as well as some legs and helmets and weapons and everything I might need to form a kind of large army of these if I wanted to use them in that way. Now, traditionally, I know that the Wolfpack is not used that way. They're not a standing army. I have a couple of the figures from the last minifigure series. I have about 4 of them, that came with a little wolf, and I've used them as kind of spies for King Cuthbert. But now that I have all these torsos and I could actually build an army, I'm considering what to do with them. Do I make them just, what they are, traditional wolf pack, or do I make them a large army with their own castle? And so my first thought was maybe I'd take a 3-in-1 castle set because I have multiples of it, and I would, just custom it out a little bit to be a Wolfpack castle and make them a traditional standing army with their own leader, king, whatever. And then I got a look at the Bricklink Designer Program set that's coming out, which is called the Outlaw Forest Den. Now, I know I have said that I'm staying away from Bricklink. And one of the principal reasons I've been staying away from it is the time it takes between when the sets are announced and when you actually get them. And, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I don't like really particularly the idea of being months out for getting a set that I order. But, as a castle lover, it's not like a lot is coming down the pike for us, although we've gotten some really great sets. A lot of really good stuff for castle lovers. As you know, I'm the last guy on earth to find out anything, is coming from the Bricklink Designer Program, which is a program where you can design a Lego set, submit it, it's voted on, and if it's accepted, then it's crowdfunded, meaning that you go on when it opens up for sale and you put in your dibs and pay for the set, and then you wait the months it will take to assemble it and send it to you. Now, this particular set won't be shipped until March of 2026, so that's quite a ways off. It won't be crowdfunded until October, so, let's like set your alarm clocks and get up and bid on it. But for the first time, I'm actually interested. Let's take a look at this set and let's talk through why I'm so interested in it. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on it and if this is one that you're planning to get. So just as an overview, let's look first at this magnificent outline of it. It is about 2,500 pieces, which I think is a good amount. I'm not crazy about building huge sets anymore, like 4,000 pieces. So this is one that I think I can handle. The first thing that strikes me about this set that I really think I love about it is just the choices of colors. And by the way, this is designed by a designer named Brickhammer, so he or she or they should be given their due. I love the fact that darker brick is used for the tower and that the highlights are light gray and kind of a medium gray and brown, because I think it really pops the Wolfpack shield and logo with that red kind of background to have this darker brick up there. Now, as you go down the tower, it's surrounded by trees because I guess the Wolfpack traditionally, and I'm not too familiar with their origins, but I guess traditionally they were kind of like the forest men. They would occupy portions of castles that were in, various states of decay and kind of make them their own and kind of hide out there. So that's why this tower is surrounded by trees, and why there's only one tower to what might be left of a full castle that might have had more than one tower. So that's the first thing I kind of notice. I notice that it's built up kind of like on a hill with a staircase going up. I think that's a really clever design. I kind of really love that. I love the fact that there's a couple of archways and, kind of invites you in. And that also there's the brickwork. It looks like a stone mountain that it's sitting on top of. And I like the fact that there's a kind of living quarters that's clearly off to one side that has a red roof that ties in with the colors of the Wolfpack design. So all in all, it's just aesthetically pleasing. There's masonry bricks used in the design of it. It's not all flat. And there's a little touch of water to the side. The trees are modern builds of trees. It's just really cool looking. I love the fact that there's a gate that comes down that probably closes off the inside. The old castle gate remains of this castle ruin that these Wolfpack have occupied. Now, the set comes with some clearly very cool minifigs here. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, plus a squirrel and a bird, and who doesn't like that? And they are the things that I just bought off of Pick-a-Brick. They're the torsos and gray legs. There's nothing too fancy about them, but they're cool nonetheless. I noticed the capes are missing. There were capes in the minifig series that just released, so there are no capes there. I imagine you could obviously trick them out with capes if you wanted to. But these seem to be the more, they're not out marauding or spying or, raiding. They're living in this castle, so they don't need capes. But they are hooded for the most part. Some have some helmets here. The traditional weaponry. Also, again, the standard pieces you can get off of Pick-a-Brick now. But I think it's really cool the way everything is put together. I also think this wagon is cool. The wagon has kind of a built-in platform, like a hidden passageway underneath where you could hide somebody or smuggle in goods. And I think that that's a really cool touch. If you look around the back of it, it is open. So it's as I've been educated to understand, this is a dollhouse design. But it looks like one section hinges, and so the footprint can be reduced. It can be either opened up or closed in the back a little bit. And I think that's a nice design. That's been the way the castles have come from the traditional castle sets of the last couple of years, where they will fold up and you can lower the footprint on your Lego table. And then inside, there's nothing extraordinarily fancy, but I think it's very cleverly done. There's enough going on that I think you could have. There's a lot of play value, and you can trick it out even more if you want. And finally, the overview of the aerial view of the set, I think, is very cool and very inviting. And it shows the top of the tower and how there's room for several figures up there, which I think is a really nice touch. So all in all, I think personally that this is a Bricklink designer set that I'm going to set my alarm clock and get up and bid on. I think it's a magnificent design. It's one of the better designs, I think, that I've seen from Bricklink as far as castle goes, in my opinion. Sometimes the designs seem overwhelming to me and really busy and kind of crowded. This does not. This seems compact and is very thoughtfully done, and I just think it would be a world of fun to have. Now, what's your opinion? Are you planning on adding this? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support.